Hello, it's Alex here, also known as Defaultsound, and today I'm going to be continuing the fence panel and finishing it off quickly. So last time we had modelled the individual panel and then learnt about how to use the array modifier to quickly duplicate that panel in a series here. We also made sure it was pretty closely lined up to the grid as we were going to make a modular piece that we can reuse. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back here, make sure our 3D cursor is in the center by pressing Shift C, and then I'm going to press Shift A. I'm going to add a mesh cube. I'm going to add another cube. Hit Tab, go into edit mode, and then I'm going to scale this cube roughly along the x-axis, and then I'm going to scale it on the z-axis. So I'm going to get sort of a plank-shaped piece, and then scale it on the X again, so you get something a bit like that. I'm then going to go back into object mode. I'm then going to come into the side view here, press G to grab, lock it to the Z axis, and I'm going to just move it roughly into the place I want. Grab Y, move it across here, roughly center it for there for now. Come into edit mode, scale it along the Y, and just line it up there roughly at the top there. I think I'm just going to make this a little bit wider. And then I'm going to come back into object mode, grab X, just bring it a little bit out like that. Actually, what I'm going to do is actually bring it so it's not inside the panel there. And I'm actually going to make it a bit smaller, it's a little bit thick. So I'm going to come down into face select mode. Select this outer face here with left click and just bring it along the x-axis here a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. And now what I'm going to do is add another modifier, so we're going to come up to our modifiers panel. I'm going to add an array, and this time I'm going to array it downward along the z-axis. So in our options here, set that to 0, and this is a z-axis here, the bottom one. And I'm just going to slide this value down roughly to what I feel looks pretty good. That looks pretty good there. So what I'm going to do now is, before, we've still got an array modifier here, so these duplicates are still superficial, they're not fixed until we apply this modifier. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that modifier. And now if we come into edit mode, you can see that those polygons are now a part of that object. So what I want to do quickly here is make sure that this side face here lines up with the grid correctly. So come into side view, I'm going to select this face, I'm going to hit Shift S to come into our snap settings, and I'm going to select selection to grid, and that will just make sure that it's minutely locked to this line here. That's going to be important when we're making a modular component that we can duplicate and reuse. So for these panels here now, I'm going to line these faces on the side here up with this edge as well. To do that, I'm going to come and turn on the snap transform and change it to vertex mode. Select this face, I'm going to hit G to grab, lock it to the Y, and I'm just going to bring my mouse up here, and you'll see this little circle appear, and it'll let you choose which vertex you want to snap it to. I want to snap it to this one here, so it's in line with this face here as well. And then I'm going to come to the opposite side, select this face here, lock it to the y-axis, and just mouse over that vertex, and that will lock that face in line with that as well. And now we can go ahead, apply our array modifier on our planks here, or our support planks here. And lastly, I'm going to select the two meshes, I'm going to hit Ctrl J to join them. So now, if I'm just going to undo that, if you look in our outliner up here, we currently have two meshes in the outliner. When I select them together, in any order, and hit Ctrl J, they join and become one. So in edit mode, that one object has both these fence panels and these supporting panels as well. And now, last but not least, we just reset our pivot back to the 3D cursor. So I'm going to go Control Alt Shift C, origin to 3D cursor, and that would just set it back in the little corner there. And there we have it. We've got our fence panel modelled, and I'll see you in the next video.